Here we have the daily price chart for Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated, stock ticker AMD. Currently, we've got a stock that's caught in a bit of an interesting situation here relative to the rest of the market. In my view, AMD has really been ignored by large sections of the technology community, at least in the stock market anyway. It's probably not the case in the gaming market, but the stock market is its own world. And as we can see here, for the most part, we have seen some fairly substantial declines in this stock, even during periods of time where the rest of the technology space was posting some fairly significant gains. That has not been as true in recent trading sessions. Last Thursday, we saw some major declines throughout most of the technology space. Nvidia was trading much lower. Apple, Microsoft, Meta Platforms, Tesla, all of these gains, all of these names were trading much lower and experiencing significant declines in market cap in relatively short periods of time. But as we can see here, this really did not occur with AMD. And that would be my first question to anyone that's watching here. And I would be interested in hearing some comments, some posts in the comment section about why people think this is. Overall, as we can see here, the Thursday trading session really didn't show much activity. We did see sharp price differences of roughly $10 per share, and this was a negative day. But as you can see here, we really had it's a bit of a hammer candlestick pattern. This really isn't a significant move in either direction. You've got long wicks on both sides. You did see a bit of volatility here, and it did close negative, but not substantially so. I mean, you closed well off of the lows here. And that's fairly encouraging given the fact that, most other names in the technology space failed to do this. And we're talking about the largest names in the business here. We're talking about Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA. The losses during these trading periods were substantial. And this was not really being seen in AMD. In my view, it's because a lot of the selling pressure had already taken place. NVIDIA really wasn't, sorry, NVIDIA. AMD really was not participating in many of the rallies that were seen with names like NVIDIA previously. And I think that the market is finally starting to wake up to the fact that AMD is trading at undervalued levels, relatively speaking, relative to the rest of the technology space. So for these reasons, I would argue AMD was really able to hold up quite well under all of this additional selling pressure. The same thing cannot be said for many other names. Look at the Meta Platforms chart, the Facebook parent company. That chart is a complete mess. I just posted a video on that if you're interested in seeing it. It's that house is burning down. It looks like it's that stock is not in very good shape. The declines have been massive, and the stock has not been able to recover any of those losses really. So the question here is whether or not AMD will continue to outperform in this way going forward. In my view, that's probably likely to happen due to the fact that the stock really held up very well during this previous selling pressure. So currently to the downside, the level that I would be watching comes in at 174.80. A lot of people would probably want to point to the 175 level. I would put that 20 cents lower. I don't generally like to look at these psychological numbers, these big round numbers. I don't think they mean anything. I think they're just random numbers. So I would not say 175 is the key level to watch here. I would say 174.80. This is a price zone that has been tested on multiple occasions. It was a prior breakdown point. And if we do see a decline below here, it is likely that we'll start to pressure some of the exponential moving averages that are seen on the daily charts. So currently, why would I be optimistic on this stock when the rest of the market is selling off? Well, one aspect here, one factor that I would point to here would be this reading in the relative strength index. As we can see, momentum is building here quite strongly. This is a nice slope on the RSI, on the relative strength index. We can see here that, this trend really began as prices were making their lows during the April 19th trading session. So that's all the way back here. Prices then formed a bit of a double bottom, and then were able to move higher within a sideways trading range. Why is this important? Because what we're seeing at this point, and this is another reason why I was bullish on this stock, was because we were roughly trading sideways here. As we can see, we're moving we're kind of oscillating around the exponential moving average cluster. We're a bit below, now we're a bit below, now a bit above, now we're back below. This would be considered sideways trading activity. However, this activity is not being confirmed by the indicator itself. You can look at the RSI reading here, and you can see that the slope is upward, and it's a very stable, strong-looking trend that's being seen in the stock's underlying momentum. That's a positive. It's a very positive signal. And then, in addition to that, we started to stabilize here at higher levels, forming a higher low in the process. These are factors that I was pointing out, and this is why AMD was a buy previously. As I said, we've got this series of higher lows here, and then this final factor was this break above the exponential moving average cluster. That's these colorful lines here, and this is the daily chart. So this is a significant price chart as far as the daily moving averages are concerned. If we were looking at a 15-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, you could say the moving averages aren't so important. But this is the daily chart. So this is the chart that everybody's looking at when they're talking about a stock's exponential moving averages. These are the moving averages that you'll hear about in the financial news media. People that don't even do chart analysis tend to still have these on their chart from time to time, and it can become a news story when a stock breaks above or below some of these levels. If Apple breaks above its 100-day EMA or its 200-day EMA or something like that, now all of a sudden everybody's a chart expert, and you start to hear about chart levels in the financial news media. So this is that chart. This is the daily chart. So in this case, what did we see here? We saw a break above all of these exponential moving averages at the same time. These were all kind of tightening to a point where they were all trading at roughly the same level. And then here we see a forceful break above here. And what does that result in? It results in a break of resistance and an elimination of this prior sideways trading range. So this was a significant price move higher here, and this was all foreseen in the chart analysis. You can go back to the prior videos and check. All of these chart markings here were posted previously. So this is not really a surprise here. If there is any surprise here, it would just be in the fact that AMD is holding up as strong as it is in the face of a broader market sell off, like the one that we saw on Thursday, where most of the market, the S&P 500 was trading lower, the NASDAQ was trading lower, the Dow was trading lower. So, this was a significant amount of selling pressure here, and AMD was relatively stable. I mean, it's a red candle, but it's a hammer. It's not, this is not this isn't like a bearish engulfing pattern, or an evening star pattern or something crazy like that, which would suggest significant downside from here. It's nothing like that. Overall, a lot of this was forecast in advance. You can go back to the prior videos. All of this was largely expected, and this is why our long position was taken in these areas. So I continue to be bullish on this name, and I will continue to watch and post videos about how this stock performs relative to the rest of the technology sector. Here's the current market analysis for Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated, stock ticker AMD.